My name is Martin Drexler, Channel Sales Manager for Central Eastern Europe. I'm happy to be able to present today for roughly 20-30 minutes what is email archiving, email management in our concept, what MailStore software does, and a little bit about the company, and mainly what is it for you as partners, as end customers, as everyone who is interested in secure information technology. So, MailStore software, many of you are familiar with us, I'm sure already, but just for those that haven't heard the basic info, we are a German vendor specialized in email archiving, email management for more than 10 years already. And we are working with Romsym for over 2 years, being our exclusive distributor in Romania and Moldova. I would like to take you through our main solution, which is MailStore Server. And then I will tell you a little bit about the current trends, and I would like to show you a live demo also very quickly. We build our solutions to be as simple as possible and reliable as possible, and that will enable us to really show you the essence of it in these 20 or 30 minutes. So first of all, just quick stat to begin with. This is very interesting to observe, and we are really seeing, as far as emails, which is the main subject of what we are securing, we are seeing still growth of the worldwide daily email traffic, of the worldwide email volume. Of course, this is due to digital economy, due to massive communication that is just increasing, and no platforms, no mediums are able to actually replace emails in any sense. And essentially, there's more information, the more important information emails, just as the number of online transactions increases. So, as you can see right now, we're about 300 billions of emails every day, not including the spam. The number is growing, and companies are facing situations in which they say, okay, so what are we going to do with all this information that we have somewhere stored in emails? Some of that content might not be relevant, but some of the content might be very relevant still. And this is time of change. We might be changing the platform, might be changing different ways we work. And so what we do in order to keep those emails and that information is in them secure, very quickly accessible, and totally under control of the company. And that's essentially the situation that we are trying to address, and we have the tools for. One thing to begin with, maybe another interesting question, or interesting thing that might be coming into play, and that is still the persisting difference between email archiving and email backup. Many of our customers, you would be surprised, or maybe you would not surprised, but many of our customers are still not clear on the difference. What is email archiving and what is email backup? And they would tell you, if you talk about email archiving and email management, they would tell you, I'm not sure if I need that because we have a backup. And definitely it's a topic for discussion, and there's few crucial differences. I've named 4 here. There's way more, and it depends on the context. But backup does not help to meet compliance. Backup does not contain 100% of your data. You have a backup windows, and whatever is lost or manipulated, corrupted in the time between those backup windows is not recorded. Backup doesn't solve issue with local storage, local PSD files, local PCs, which is something that we are facing right now. Many companies are just not able to get back to the office, get back to the older structures. They are working from home, so they are having trouble to have the full picture of the information in the company. Backup is not serving for that purpose. And of course, backup is usually not accessible for the end user. So there is more, but these are the things that the debate goes around, and it's good to know the distinction. Our main solution that we deploy, we sell, we configure, we support together with Romsym and the team. By the way, there's a great team. The Romsym side, fully certified. I think Alexandru is somewhere around for sure. He was at the booth. And he could tell you the same thing I'm telling you here, basically. But guys are nice enough to let me speak too. The Romsym team is very ready to help you with all these scenarios. We are talking about MailStore server primarily, and it is really on-premise technology that runs totally independently on the Office 365, Microsoft 365, Google Suite, local Exchange on-prem servers, and everything that the customers may use to run their email agenda. Our solution, MailStore server, really runs separately, installed in a separate environment. It depends on where the customer wants to basically run it, but it gives them main 6 advantages. Again, there's more, depends on the context, depends on the situation of the customer, but a couple of things that we can mention is that really is critical for some of the compliance, some of the regulatory questions that many customers out of finance, out of services, out of legal services have, and they have to follow certain guidelines. Not only GDPR, of course, it's the MiFID II, many different regulations from EU that specifically give companies the mandatory archiving situations for mandatory specific data that have to be stored for certain specific time and in control of the company. Also, some companies would go for email archiving solution just for the fact that they're going to be able to very quickly and simply and accurately search for certain stuff. Not only the stuff that you find in the emails or the bodies, but mainly in the attachments, the full text attachment search. I'm a company with 20 years of history. I've had thousands of employees over that period of time. I'm not really sure who has left what content behind, and I might be facing certain situation in which I'm going to need to find very specific set of data very quickly, with no regard to if that specific information was operated with yesterday, year ago, 10 years ago. I don't know if there was employee A, employee B, or employee C. I just have a full visibility of all the information, of all the content that I have possibly piled up as a company in 10, 20 years of history. So that's the central search, e-discovery, very, very quick to find, very easy to go with. Of course, there are technical aspects too. The technology runs on its own with its own database. So you don't need any specific database or third-party database to connect it with any other specific components. The only thing is that you put it into Windows environment, and from there the technology can very easily be set up, connected with your Microsoft 365 to give you a exit strategy from the cloud, to give you a option to take care of all the old messages, old content that was piled up, and now you're moving onto the cloud, and you are in need to basically secure and have a full visibility of everything. You just need to have a space on Windows server machine. You set it up there, database that duplicates all the content. So essentially, you're really saving about 76 from 50 to all the way up to 75% of your storage space. Basically, if you would have all mailboxes on your Microsoft Exchange, that would be taking up about 1 terabyte. In MailStore server, after deduplication compression, you're looking at about 300 gigs or something like that. So there's aspects from the legal perspective, from the operational perspective, and of course from the technical perspective. So all these are good to know when engaging with customers in discussions about how do we really make sure we got all the information you need to do business well, and how that reflects into actual topics. So I just put down a couple of things that we see around. Uh, Even though the situation right now, global situation, is not nice at all. It's very difficult for many out there, for their personal situations, for their professional situations. Businesses are going down, etc. We are actually seeing increase in the demand for our products, and in demand for independent handling of information from somewhere central. And these are the main reasons I see for that. Number one is Microsoft 365, of course, that there's many companies now that this was the last final step. They need Teams, they need this online collaboration. They need to get rid of, move on from the on-premise infrastructure a little bit. So they are accelerating they push into 365, and MailStore can be there as a very good tool to migrate, to take care of the older content, to not to overload the new platform with old stuff, old emails, and yet be available from home, from wherever you are, wherever your guys are. It enables you to give them those emails, those information, those attachments, everything that comes with it. That's exactly that. Companies moving fast to the cloud. Not only the 365, of course, all the other platforms might be abandoned now, and email is usually the first thing they would put to the cloud to test it. Home office, no access to local storages, PCs, PSTs, and other repositories, right? So we had a migration, and us as a company, we have been using MailStore more than ever. I was myself searching through certain stuff because I just had no access to emails older than 1 year because of the fact that the infrastructure has changed and a location has changed. So all this can be bridged and can be very easily handled with MailStore server. Also, unfortunately, we have a lot of people being put out of job, people changing agendas, flipping around stuff, and they need to keep on track in whatever the people before them have been taken care of, or whatever the information for in order to do their job right. They might be looking for that, and MailStore gives you exactly that option. So that's actually the actual topics that really right now I think are affecting the positive trend in the discussions around email archiving and management, and in the overall demand we are seeing on the global scale. Let me share let me show you quickly just how the components look like. I have here a local installation of MailStore server. I have 3 components. Number one is install MailStore client on other computers. That's just the MSI package that can be installed in order to access all content from Outlook, right? If you put MailStore into a company, all your employees can access and search their content through Outlook usually. You have a MailStore client, which is the place where you configure everything, and then you have a MailStore configuration server, just debug log, shut down, shut down, switch on, switch off the service, just server configuration, ports, setting up, etc. So what is important, just to maybe illustrate those things that I showed you on those slides, because I'm not really a huge fan of PowerPoint slides anymore. I like to keep things more practical. I would like to show you how that actually looks. Okay. How that actually looks in real life. So right now, number one is the MailStore server service configuration. As I mentioned, very simple thing. You define where you put your email archive. You can definitely define your own path. You can put it onto a local drives. You can put it onto through an UC path through your network. You can put it anywhere you want, basically. Uses the standard NTFS service. Okay, and then the network settings, etc. in the configuration server console. And then the most important thing, of course, is in the MailStore server admin, which I will try to reset here so we see fully operational installation. Stop service. I will restore the admin. Okay. Should be reset to a default localhost. Connecting. No connection. Machine refused it. Okay, that's because I didn't start the service again. So let's go with the start service. MailStore server is started. Okay. Okay, new password. We have a very strict password policy lately. Let's see if this would be strong enough. No. So we give it one more. Okay. Complexity requirements are still not met. Sorry about that. Let me try this one. Okay, now it works. And here is the client. So now I just restarted my admin so I can show you a clean installation. As you can see here, it's very simple, all in the graphics. You don't need to work with API console or anything like that, even though it is here. One thing you would do first of all is to run a directory service synchronization. So all your users, basically all your email is synchronized with, I mean, the users are synchronized with MailStore primarily. So you can go with Active Directory, G Suite, IceWarp, LDAP, Microsoft 365, whatever you want. After you do so, all your users get populated here. They are now recorded in MailStore. Everyone has their properties, so you can really give them rights to export email, delete email, change password, etc. By default, they cannot delete anything. You don't want them to be able to delete anything because you really want to be in total control of the archive. As soon as you have all the users in, then you can design the archiving profile for them. This is yet a very simple. You just define either archiving from an email server. You select the email server of your choice. It can be usually a Microsoft Exchange or Office 365. Or you can go with local clients. If you don't have access to mail server, which could be a global organization, corporation, they would not give you rights for the global machines. So you can go with local archiving of clients, or you can go with archiving of email files. So really, it doesn't matter what it is as far as the source. MailStore can take care of it. One important distinction as far as the archiving profile is you either go with archiving users based on some policy, which means everything that is older than or from all these users archive information that is this or that, or you can go really archive everything that comes in and comes out. This is very popular for everybody who's serious about their company data. You really have a full security of your information. So if you have a malicious employee intentions, they might want to delete something and then maybe take the business to your competition or whatever may be the case. This enables you to really always have to prove that you as the owner, you as the decision maker, whoever's responsible for the company, have full and total control of the information. Then you can use it in front of the court. You can use it in any legal dispute, in any arbitrary, anything might take place. You are basically covered. So that's the full insurance of what's going on. As soon as you design the archiving profile, you want to design also the storage location. You want to design where you want to archive. These storage locations are fully independent. Again, they can be backed up. They can be replicated back in. So if you would have a disaster recovery, if you would have any kind of disaster, all you need to have is just this container, basically, that contains all the emails, everything that's in it, and then you just would go attach to a new installation, and you can be up and running with your one-to-one MailStore in minutes, very simply, with the same setup, same settings, etc. So that's where the emails are essentially stored. The location of that I showed you here in the MailStore service configuration admin. One important thing maybe to mention also is the compliance general. You can decide what emails will be kept for how long, who has access to it. You can even block the access to see the body of the message for admin. So you are in full control of what is going on with your data. Retention policies, differentiation there. You can even decide to delete certain stuff. So that's the essence of email management, because you really can say, I want to keep these things for long, and autoresponders or whatever that comes from this domain, I just want to get rid of immediately because it's just taking up space and it's not important. So all that can be set up here as well. We don't really have time to go too much into detail here, but I think we'll be more than happy to show you a little bit of the configuration or more specific situations in one-to-one demos or in one-to-one sessions. So please feel free to join us in the booth, or later on, me or Alexandru or whoever else will be happy to discuss more in detail what is the essence of email archiving and how that essentially can work for you. One thing that I just want to show very quickly here is the access from Outlook. As you can see, you should see my Outlook in the latest version, and I have all those archives that I'm available to see here, available just through a tab, MailStore. I can browse the archive. I can run very sophisticated search question here through an advanced search. The search is extremely fast, and it can really give you the information you need within seconds. If you are admin or if you're the owner, you can always look across the whole organization, or you can decide on those rights very individually. So that would be it for the quick demo section.